talking about is using numbers to help you play in different keys more easily. And picked out the tune Old Home Place, and in this particular lesson, we're going to play it in the key of B. And actually, you know, we've been doing it in some other keys, and I hope you'll check those out and learn from them as well. But this key of B really is going to help illustrate the point better than some of the other keys that we've been playing it in. And that's because we're going to be able to use we're going to really be able to borrow from the major scale across 3 strings that we've been working so hard on. If you haven't gone to that lesson, the major scale across 3 strings, it's a really, really important lesson that I hope that you'll spend some time with, and then come back to this if this seems like it's a little foggy to you. Because this sets up in B, we're going to play it down here. Now, we know already, and because we've been working on this, that we have our option. There's a B here and there's a B here. And of course, every time I say that, you know, always know there are other B's up here as well. But we're living in this area right here, because this is what's going to really help you create the foundation early on with your bluegrass playing. It doesn't mean that these don't count, but they don't count right now. So we've got these 2 options, but in this case, I'm going to actually start here on this low B to help illustrate some points. So this is our 1. So from now I'm going to try to refer to this B as the 1, because that's the key we're in. And the tune that we're playing, Old Home Place, has a 1 and a 3 in it, and a 4 and a 5 and a 2. So those are the chords that we have to deal with. So if this is our 1, the next chord that comes in the verse is a 3. So we know, because of the work we've done before, that 3 is that physical distance from the 1 on the next string over. So we can play our 1 and then use our finger to find our distance and our hand shapes to find that 3 note and play its root 5. And then we're going to the 4. It's only a half step away from the 3. So we know again, by using our fingers in these measurements that we've already worked on, that's a 4. So we're going 1, 3, 4, 1. So if you notice, when I did that, I was actually using the real meaty part of my finger, and I wasn't spreading out my hand, because I've already figured out where that is, and I've thought about it, and I'm just going to put my hand there to go to that 3, because I've already sort of done this in my head. And that's where you'll get to. The more you do this, the more you practice with this kind of fingering, the more that will become a part of your brain. And when you think about making that jump from a 1 to a 3, you'll see it. You don't have to necessarily do it, but your hand can just go there. And that's what we're looking for. So we're going to go to the 4 and back to the 1. Here we are living in the 1, because then the next chord is a 5. And we know from all of our scale work that the 5 is a whole step from the 1 on the next string over. That's an interval right there, and it's from the 1 to the 5. 1, 5. And you'll start to hear that and recognize it as a 1 and 5. But more importantly, what you want to do is be able to get there by putting your hand. So again, I'm going to use my, when I play this, I'm just going to play the 1 and then go to the jump to the 5 without spreading my hand, because I've spent time practicing where it is, putting my hand there, and I have a pretty good idea of where it is, so I can now just jump there and play it. But you have to go through the process of learning it this way first so that you have any hope of playing it in tune. So that's why it's important to learn this part, and then you can jump to that chord. Now the only other chord in this tune that we haven't talked about yet in the key of B is the 2. And again, we're going to use our hand shape. It's the most, we just use it over and over and over again. It's a very useful tool. We're going to go from 1 to 2. Because we know the 2 is just one whole step up from a 1. So we're just spread our hands out and go to that shape. But what I'm going to do as we play the tune is you'll see me just going to that 2. And the reason is, again, because I've spent the time actually practicing it this way, and I have a good idea in my mind and making that relationship with visually where it is on the fingerboard, so I can try to get there and make it a good in-tune note. Let's play the tune, and we're going to be playing it in B this time. It starts off with an instrumental playing the verse, and then the verse is sung, and then it goes to the chorus. Now, on the chorus, it actually goes to the 5 right off the bat. So the chorus starts on the 5, back to the 1, and then that 2 comes into play to the 5. And you'll hear it. When it goes to that 2, you'll actually kind of hear this sort of tension that needs to be resolved. And that goes from the 2 to the 5 and kind of resolves it. And then it comes back around to the 1 and finishes the last half of the chorus just like a verse, which is the 1, 3, 4, 1, and then the 1, 5, 1. So let's play it and have some fun.
1, 2, 3.
Back to the 1. And now it's going to the 5. 1, 3, 4, 1. 1, 5, 1. Good. Here comes the verse. 1, 3, 4, 1. To the 5. Did use my open hand to find that. To the 4, 1. To the 5. Again. Going to the chorus. 5. Back to the 1. Now here comes that 2. To the 5. And now to the 1. 3, 4, 1. The 1 and a 5, 1. Hey folks, so I would love to hear from you. Why don't you send me some videos of you playing Old Home Place? We did it in several different keys, and I'd love to see you trying it out on all the different keys and using your hand shape to find those 3s and the 2s that we talked about. Make sure you play with a metronome and watch your pitch and your timing and your form. And I can't wait to see them.